The partial government shutdown has entered a third week with no sign of an end in sight. On Saturday, Vice President Mike Pence invited congressional leaders, White House officials, and top aides to discuss the possibility of coming to an agreement to reopen the government. Republicans repeated the president's demand that any budget agreement must include funding for a border wall. But Democrats say that's an issue that can't be resolved until the government is back open. Right now, hundreds of thousands of government workers wonder when they're going to get their next paycheck.
I think if you ever really looked at those people, I think they'd say, Mr. President, keep going. This is far more important.
The same group plans to meet again for discussions today. The president said the partial government shutdown could last for months or years if his demand for a border wall funding is not met. New this morning, people who witnessed Thursday's horrific crash on Interstate 75 in Florida that killed 7 people, including 5 children, say they were stunned to see the accident unfold in front of them. Jocelyn Howard reports.
I saw that semi-truck cross the northbound lanes and cross over into the southbound lanes, and then this huge explosion happened.
Imagine this scene right outside your car window.
To have that ball of fire go up 5, 6, 7 stories tall and just a horrific scene.
Some witnesses were in shock, calling 911. Others trying to escape the unpredictable explosions.
I could see people in the road, some people laying on the ground, lifeless, and others sitting up.
A handful of people ignored the dangerous chaos and sprung into action.
I saw the bodies laying on the interstate, and that's what prompted me to stop.
Without hesitation, former firefighter Mike Davis jumped the guardrail and ran to the bodies surrounding the fires.
Came across the first kid. He was probably about 14, maybe, a boy, and he was gone. There were 2 more girls, and they were gone, and so I stopped at the first person I found alive. And that was a little girl. She maybe 11 or 12, and she was 3 kinds of messed up.
Mike tried to keep her still as she panicked. That's when he found there was a language barrier. She couldn't understand him.
I don't think any of those victims in the van spoke English, though. And a few minutes after that, a nurse came up. She got out to help, and luckily she spoke Spanish, and she was able to get some responses from this little girl with hand squeezes.
Mike said with her severe injuries, she was the first to get on a backboard into an ambulance and rushed to UF Health Shands Hospital. Both men say a tragedy like this is heart-wrenching, but something to learn from. Drive safe, be vigilant, and cherish those around you.
Make sure that you always tell your loved ones how much you love them and think about them a lot.
In other news from across our nation, 3 men were killed and 4 injured during a shooting late last night at a bowling alley in Los Angeles. Police say gunfire inside of Gable House Bowl terrified patrons who ran for their lives. Witnesses say it started as a fight between 2 large groups. A father of one of those killed says he received a call from a relative who told him his son was trying to calm things down when the shooting broke out.
They were trying to break up the fight. A bunch of girls fighting the thing. He was trying to break up the fight. And this guy came out of nowhere and started shooting.
Investigators have not identified any suspects or released details about what led to the shooting. Police say they're reviewing security footage to try to identify a suspect. The delivery company DoorDash is teaming up with General Motors to test self-driving cars for food delivery services. GM subsidiary Cruise Automation will automate Chevrolet Bolt electric vehicles for the tests in San Francisco. Selected DoorDash customers will be able to order groceries or meals from restaurants using the service. There will be a so-called safety driver on board during the tests to take over in case of an emergency. A North Carolina woman is safe after seeking help from a group of karate experts. The unidentified woman was walking along a road Thursday night in Charlotte when police say she was approached by August Williams. He began chasing her, so she ran inside Bushikan Karate Charlotte Dojo. The head instructor performed a basic self-defense move and waited for police to arrive. Police say Williams appeared to be on drugs and believe the attempted kidnapping was not random.
He was very strong, very, very, very strong. He weighed at least 200 and some change. Under the influence, very strong, powerful individual.
Police say they're still investigating whether there was any prior relationship between Williams and the woman. They say he has been arrested before on assault and weapons charges. A decorated Navy SEAL has pleaded not guilty to murder in the fatal stabbing of a teenage Islamic State prisoner in Iraq in 2017. Special Operations Chief Edward Gallagher entered his plea at an arraignment Friday at Naval Base San Diego. Gallagher will stand trial on February 19th before a jury that will be 1/3 enlisted personnel. He has been in jail since his arrest on September 11th. Covering Lee County, grades are in East Alabama, and they look pretty promising. Opelika City Schools received B's across the board, with the exception of 2 A's at Jeter Primary School and Morris Avenue Intermediate School.
We feel good about the report card and all the efforts of our teachers and our leadership team, but also our instructional coaches. A lot of work that they put in to make sure that we're teaching the standards to the level that we should be. And that's the thing that's very important for us is that yes, we'd like to do well on those tests, but that's about 2 hours over the whole year, and so in 2 days, 1 hour a day. And so while that's important, we want to make sure we're teaching our children to the standards that we need to teach them to, and we're certainly proud that we reflected that well on the test.
Officials say that they plan to build on last year's report card as we start off 2019. The holidays are behind us, and if you're thinking about putting your Christmas tree on the curb, think again. The City of Montgomery, the Montgomery Clean City Commission, and the Alabama Department of Conservation are offering a Christmas tree recycling program that will put your discarded tree to good use.
They go to a spot where Alabama Department Conservation picks them up, and then they take them to a local lake. So that might be Lake Jordyn or Lake Martin, and they put them into the lake. And from there, the fish kind of build their habitat onto the trees. It's a safe spot for them from other predators, so it just becomes their new home.
Once again, the recycled Christmas trees will be placed in lakes such as Lake Jordyn and Lake Martin. Well, we're enjoying a beautiful start to our Sunday morning, and more sunshine is on the way. WSFA First Alert meteorologist Lee Southwick is in with your forecast coming up next. A researcher at the University of Arizona is inventing ways to use 3D printing to regrow bone. WSFA 12 News anchor Tanya Terry has more. CVEX says these types of injuries are big problems for the military, where explosions or combat injuries can cause big bone defects. Happening tonight, the Golden Globe Awards are live on NBC. Some nominations for awards include Vice, A Star is Born, and Killing Eve, a TV drama in which Sandra Oh has a nomination. Not only does she have a nomination, she will serve as co-host along with Brooklyn Nine-Nine star Andy Samberg.
We presented together at the Emmys.
So to be able to do that again, I was really, really excited to do that.
Let's just say the streets demanded it.
The Golden Globe Awards air tonight at 7 p.m. on NBC, right after the NFL playoff game between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Chicago Bears. Coming up, Lee rejoins us with another look at her exclusive 7-day forecast. Stay with us. We do not have a show at 5 o'clock tonight. We'll be back at 10. Thanks so much.